You don't have ADHD. You are a mass procrastinator addicted to cheap dopamine, and you are using an internet diagnosis as an excuse to not take responsibility for your life. Let me ask you a question. You can't focus on work for 10 minutes, but you can watch an entire series in one night. It's that attention deficit, or is that choice? You know the answer. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to expose you in a way you won't be able to escape. And if you stay until the end, you will have to choose: keep using the excuse and be a loser, or accept the truth and prosper in life. If you don't know me, I'm Danilo Lion Limitless is my channel. My mission is to decode the mental patterns of the world's most prosperous people so you can master your own life. And the concept I'm going to show you now is what separates those who use diagnosis as a crutch their whole lives from those who take responsibility and transform in months. This concept is called Real ADHD versus Internet Excuse. About 3 years ago, a mentee came to my office. Her, Danilo, I need help. I have ADHD. I can't focus on anything. I can't finish projects. My life is a mess. Me, who diagnosed you? Her, I took an online test and all the symptoms match. Me, I see. Are you on medication? No, but I know I have it. Her, I took a deep breath. Me, okay, before you leave here, I'm going to prove you that you don't have ADHD. But first, can you do me a favor? Show me the data from last week. Her, what data? Me, screen time on your phone, time spent per app, weekly schedule, list of completed tasks. She felt uncomfortable, but agreed. She opened her phone, settings, screen time, 5 hours per day. Instagram 2 hours, TikTok 1 hour, WhatsApp 1 hour. She looked at the screen, then look at me. And me, let me ask you some question. Answer honestly. Her, okay. Me, you can't focus on working for 10 minutes, right? Her, right. Me, but you just show me you spend 2 hours straight on Instagram. How is that possible? Silence. I continue. You told me you can't finish projects, but do you watch series? How many episodes in a row have you watched? Her, sometimes 4, 5 episodes. Me, that's about 4 hours of continuous focus. So you have the capacity to focus. You just choose wrong where to put it. She lowered her head. Me, last question. Do you forget important appointments? She, always. And me, but you remember every episode of the podcast you listen to? Remember influencer gossip? Remember the man you saw yesterday? Her, yes. Me, so it's not a memory deficit. It is a priority deficit. She stayed silent for about 30 seconds. And then she said something that changed everything. Her, I don't have ADHD. I'm a lazy and disorganized. Me, no, you are not lazy. You are addicted to easy dopamine. And you are using medical label to avoid facing that. That day, she left the office without ADHD. She left with shame about the excuse she was using. And in the next 60 days, She organized her entire life, not because she took medication, because she stopped lying to herself. Now let me explain the brutal difference between real ADHD and internet excuse. Real ADHD, diagnosed by specialized psychiatrist, clinically tested, not by only quiz, treated with medical monitoring, affect all areas, including pleasurable things. Person wants to focus, but brain doesn't cooperate even with effort. If you have real ADHD, this conversation is not for you. You already know you have it. You are already treating it. You are already dealing with it responsibility. Internet excuse. Self-diagnosed by online test. Symptoms appear only with difficult things. Can focus 4 hours on series, game, social media. Doesn't seek real treatment because deep down knows they don't have it. Use the label as a shield. I couldn't do it because I have ADHD. Let me ask you the questions I asked her. Answer mentally but honestly. You can't focus on boring work, but you can focus on games, series, or infinite scrolls. Is that attention depth, or are you running from the uncomfortable? You know the answer. You forgot important appointments, but you remember everything about topics that interest you. Is that memory problem or a priority problem? You know the answer. You open 15 browsers tabs and finish nothing, but when it's something that gives you immediate pleasure, you go all the way. Is that attention depth, or it is addiction to instant gratification? You know the answer. How many hours per day do you spend on your phone? Now, tell me, how much of your time is because you have ADHD and how much is because you choose scroll instead of difficulty work? You know the answer. The truth is this: the average person wastes 4.5 hours per day on passive data consumption. 4.5 hours. In other words, you are data eater. Sometimes you go to bed at midnight eating data, and you say you want to prosper in life, and then you say you don't have time for anything. It's not lack of opportunity or lack of time. It is lack of vision, attitude, and method, and access of cheap dopamine. And the false ADHD diagnosis give you permission to keep doing this without guilt. Oh, but I have ADHD, I can't help it. Lie. You can watch 4 hours of series. You can play video game for 3 hours. You can stay 2 hours on Instagram. Your brain works. You just don't want to do what's boring and necessary. You assume an identity that isn't even yours. I can't focus because I have ADHD. My brain doesn't work right. I need medication to be productive. All of this leads to equal zero change. You who got here want to transform this. You are going to do 2 things. First, follow the channel to keep prospering in things you didn't even imagine existed. And second, step 1, look at the data. Go to settings, screen time on your phone, on your smartphone. See how much time you spend on your phone. See 1, which apps. Be honest with yourself. Step 2, confront the lie. Ask, do I really can focus, or do I just not want to do difficult things? This has a name. It's not ADHD. It's procrastinator. procrastination. If you can focus on series but not on work is equal, it is not ADHD, it is choice. Step number 3, cut the ease dopamine. Delete social media app from phone for 7 days, just 7 days. Only access on computer at defined time. Your brain will protest, will invent excuse, will say you need it to work. Lie. You don't need TikTok to work. Step 4, recover the 4.5 hours. If you cut unnecessary scrolling, you recover an average of 4.5 hours per day. 4.5 hours is one complete course per week, one completed project per month, one skill mastered per quarter, one business built per year. The difference between you and who you envy is not brain. It is dopamine and time management. Back to the mentee. 60 days after that conversation, she sent me a message. Danilo, I was ashamed to say it, but you were right. It wasn't ADHD. It was laziness disguised as diagnosis. I cut social media from my phone. First week was horrible, but now I finished 2 projects that had been stopped for 6 months. Thank you for not feeling sorry for me. She didn't take medication. She didn't do years of therapy. She just stopped lying to herself. And she admitted, I choose where I put my attention, and I was choosing screw instead of construction. Same concept, same brutal truth. It works. Now, the most important question I'm going to ask you is, are you going to keep using ADHD as an excuse, or are you going to admit you are addicted to cheap dopamine? You don't have a brain problem, you don't have a focus problem, you don't have an attention problem, you have a choice problem. And the truth you already know, but don't want to admit is this: you can focus, you can finish, you can build. You just don't want to do what's difficult. And the ADHD label gives you permission to keep runaway. Let me tell you one last secret. If you really think you have ADHD, go to a psychiatrist, take the real test. If diagnosed, treat it. But if you've never sought professional help because deep down you know you don't have it, stop using the label. You are robbing yourself. 4.5 hours per day wasted is equal more than 105,000 hours per year. Is equal 6 to 8 entire days throw away. The choice is yours. If you want to keep receiving brutal truth that destroys skills and force you to take responsibility, live your life. Because every week I decode another mental pattern from successful people so you can master your life. Thank you so much.